What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with another J-drama soundtrack reaction, and we're going to go back to the soundtrack for Zettai Reido Season 3, composed by Yokoyama Masaru. And indeed, I was almost going to react to a tune from the Season 1 soundtrack, but ultimately I decided to listen to this. Michaela and I have been going through the Zettai Reido Season 3, and the opening track of each episode is indeed the first track on the CD, which is interesting because it's titled BK Titleback. Now, Titleback, I'm not sure Titleback, but that makes sense in the sense that it is used in the opening title sequence of each episode. I don't know what BK is, but there's like 4 different versions of BK on this track, each of them with a different subtitle, except the last one, which is just BK. So clearly it's a suite of tracks within the larger soundtrack that probably use the same motifs and theme. Nevertheless, the opening one and the first track on the CD is called BK Titleback. And yes, this tune has great string work, it's got energy, it just makes me feel fired up because it's like the beginning of another episode of this show. And I like the visuals they use in the opening credits of the episodes of the 3rd season, which relates to like surveillance cameras, and everything's kind of time accelerated, so there's lots of people moving around very quickly, and yet suddenly all those people sort of are like faded out of the picture, and it's just the main character and an unknown person with like a hooded jacket on so you can't see their face, and they end up sort of pointing guns at each other, so it's like very dramatic. But yes, in particular, I want to mention in advance, there's this opening kind of ambient moment, then it gets into the sort of energy and drive of the tune, and then after like, I don't know, 25, 30 seconds, there's a brief moment where it sort of takes a breath and it kind of hangs in the air for a minute, and then it comes back with these really energetic and yet also emotional strings, and that's probably my favorite moment in the tune. So let's give it a listen. This is from the 3rd season of Zettai Reido, or the soundtrack to the 3rd season, composed by Yokoyama Masaru, and the track is called BK Titleback. So again, you don't actually hear the last, I'd say 30 seconds of that in the opening credits, because it's sort of a, I don't know exactly, but roughly the opening credit sequence, it's about like 45 seconds, and indeed, like the last 10 seconds of it is typically like teaser moments, like they show you little teasers of what's to come later in the episode. Now, if you've been following my J-drama reactions or watch-alongs over on Patreon, and in fact, it's not just J-drama, like Buck Rogers does that sometimes, and like some shows just seem to like, tease little bits that you're gonna see later in the episode, but I feel like, I'm about to watch the episode. Why are you spoiling something? Nevertheless, the last, 8 to 10 seconds of the title sequence is that. It's like a little preview of what we're about to watch, and then it cuts it off. So I think, maybe 2/3 of this plays. See how long this is. I'd say like a minute, 45 seconds? Yeah, just about that exactly. So I think we get probably like a minute of it, and then the last 45 seconds here is not actually heard in the episode title sequences. But again, I just love the energy of this piece. It definitely senses, that there's something serious that's going to happen, and there's going to be action related to it, which is certainly true. But the feeling and emotion comes through in that, I think it's like a lead violin line. Maybe it's a different type of bowed string instrument, I'm not sure. But again, there's also percussion and these the way all the different elements comes together. It's very powerful. And in that regard, shout out to Yokoyama Masaru, not only for making good tunes on this soundtrack, but I think it's very much paying homage to the soundtracks to the first two seasons, to the soundtracks of the first two seasons composed by Hayashi Yuki, again, one of my favorite J-drama composers. So, yeah, it's like he was serving two masters. He's making a soundtrack that's unique to this season, but also in the vein or in the style of the soundtracks for seasons 1 and 2, which were composed by a different composer. So that can't be easy to do. In any case, let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.